For decades, it was just a dark whisper, often dismissed as the stuff of wild conspiracy theories. The idea that a powerful government agency would secretly experiment on human minds, trying to manipulate thoughts and control behavior, seemed too outlandish for reality. But as the layers of secrecy peeled back, the truth about Project MK Ultra emerged, proving far more disturbing than any fiction. This wasn't a plot from a spy thriller. It was a deeply unethical and illegal program conducted by the US Central Intelligence Agency, and its shadow still looms large over our understanding of government power and human rights. To truly grasp the twisted origins of MK Ultra, we must transport ourselves back to the feverish paranoia of the early 1950s. The Cold War was at its peak, and fear gripped the nation. The US watched with growing alarm as reports emerged of Soviet, Chinese, and North Korean forces seemingly using brainwashing techniques on prisoners of war. This perceived threat that the enemy had unlocked the secrets to mind control and psychological manipulation ignited a desperate and ruthless race within the CIA. They believed they couldn't afford to be left behind, pushing them to pursue any means necessary, regardless of the ethical cost. Officially greenlit in 1953 by then CIA Director Allen Dulles, MK Ultra wasn't a contained experiment, but a massive sprawling endeavor designed to be almost impossible to trace. It operated as an umbrella for over 150 individual subprojects, discreetly funneling millions of dollars through shell corporations and front organizations. These funds covertly reached more than 80 universities, hospitals, and even prisons across North America. This elaborate, decentralized network was created for one crucial purpose: complete secrecy and plausible deniability, ensuring that most researchers involved had no idea their work was directly funded and directed by the CIA. The CIA sought to develop perfect truth serums for interrogations, drugs that could induce profound amnesia, create irrational thinking, or even cultivate absolute, unwavering loyalty in a subject. They aimed to exploit every vulnerability of the human mind, pushing the boundaries of what was considered possible in behavioral control. Chillingly, some goals even explored the grim possibility of creating programmed assassins, individuals who could carry out missions without conscious memory or moral qualms, all in the perceived interest of national security. Perhaps the most infamous and widely recognized tool in MK Ultra's arsenal was the widespread, often unwitting administration of powerful psychoactive drugs. LSD, or lysergic acid diethylamide, was a primary focus. Subjects were given high, repeated doses, sometimes for days on end, to observe its effects on perception, memory, and behavior, often pushing individuals into states of profound disorientation and psychosis. But it wasn't just LSD. A frightening array of other compounds, including heroin, mescaline, cannabis, scopolamine, and even PCP, were also covertly administered, turning human beings into unwitting test subjects. The CIA's methods extended far beyond just chemical compounds, delving into even more brutal forms of psychological torment. They deployed extreme electroshock therapy, often forcing patients into drug-induced comas before applying currents designed to depattern their minds, effectively attempting to wipe clean their personalities and memories. Intensive sensory deprivation, isolating subjects in dark, soundproof rooms for extended periods, was also used to induce hallucinations, profound disorientation, and heightened suggestibility. Combined with techniques like hypnosis, often in conjunction with drugs, the goal was to utterly break down a person's reality, making them more pliable or extracting information without resistance. Perhaps the most morally reprehensible aspect of MK Ultra was its cold, calculating use of unwitting human test subjects. Ordinary US and Canadian citizens, psychiatric patients, prisoners, and even marginalized individuals like sex workers found themselves caught in this clandestine web. They were subjected to unimaginable physical and psychological trauma without a shred of consent or prior knowledge. These were not volunteers, they were human guinea pigs, and their lives were often irrevocably altered. their minds scarred by a program that viewed them as mere objects for experimentation in the name of national security. The human cost of MKUltra was devastating, leading to profound and often permanent harm. One of the most tragic and well-known cases is that of Frank Olson, a U.S. Army biochemist, who in 1953 was unwittingly dosed with LSD during a secret CIA meeting. Just 9 days later, he plunged to his death from a 10th-story window, a death initially ruled suicide, but decades later revealed to be far more sinister. Across the border in Canada, Dr. Ewan Cameron, funded by MKUltra, subjected patients at the Allen Memorial Institute to horrific depatterning experiments, including extreme electroshocks and forced psychic driving, leaving many with permanent amnesia, incontinence, and severe psychological scars. For 2 decades, MKUltra operated in the deepest shadows, its existence unknown to the public. But as the Watergate scandal tightened its grip on the Nixon administration in 1973, then CIA Director Richard Helms, fearing exposure of the agency's illegal activities, issued a fateful order: destroy all MKUltra files. Most records were indeed incinerated, a devastating act that severely hampered future investigations and denied countless victims the full truth and any hope of justice. Yet the truth, as it often does, found a way out. In 1975, investigative journalist Seymour Hersh bravely broke the story, leading directly to the pivotal Church Committee investigation that finally laid bare the program's horrifying details, confirming its existence and shocking the American public. The revelations of MKUltra sent shockwaves not just across the United States but globally. It exposed a profound level of government misconduct and a deep betrayal of public trust, leading to widespread national outrage. While some victims and their families later sought and received settlements, compensation could never truly undo the profound physical and psychological damage inflicted. The program directly led to the implementation of stricter ethical guidelines for all human research, emphasizing informed consent. Yet its chilling shadow undeniably lingers, serving as a stark reminder of what can happen when power goes unchecked, and when the pursuit of perceived national security overrides fundamental human rights. It compels us to ask, where do we truly draw the line between security and individual liberty, and what vigilance is required to ensure such abuses are never repeated?